Hey everyone, it's been a while since I did a book review and I've had a little bit more time to read, as maybe some of you guys have. And so I thought I'll just share a review of a book that I just finished. So I just completed this book, Why Does God Care Who I Sleep With by Sam Alberry, and I really liked it a lot. It's very easy to read. As you can see, it's not very thick, but what I really liked about this is this was not just another book about how to avoid sexual sin or the importance of purity. It wasn't full of personal opinion, nor was it based out of like cultural preferences. This book really does answer the reason why this is an issue worth understanding. It puts an answer to the why. He bases it under this foundation of understanding that sexual ethics were built around this idea of a person's desire or a person's freedom to pursue their desires, to fulfill their desires. And really, he opens up our understanding that God actually has a greater vision for sexual intimacy. He explores through just looking at how and why sex is so important. Basically talking about God cares about who we sleep with because God cares who those people are. God cares who you are, and God cares who those people are. That women are not designed or created by God to be objects of lust, and men are not designed or created to be objects to fulfill certain desires. So he really goes into the heart of what's going on in light of when and who we decide to sleep with. And one of the things kind of touching on that, I'll just read to you real quick. He says a second, this is talking about mistakes and remedies. He says a second related mistake is to put all the focus on improving people's sexual conduct. And I think we see that a lot in the church, of looking at how do we change the behavior, to lay down rules designed to restrict the opportunity for sexual sin. Trying to reduce the opportunity for sin is no bad thing, but on its own, it massively misses the point, the issue of our hearts. And he does talk about, like, in line with Jesus' teaching, that adultery, for example, happens in hearts far more often than it happens in beds, and why that's important with the question of why does God care who I sleep with. And I think probably his greatest premise is understanding that these are people and they are made in the image of God. You are a person and you're made in the image of God. And that is very important when it comes to giving yourself away sexually and becoming intimate with somebody sexually. It's not full of rules or scare tactics, which I'm really, really grateful for. It's more about the fact that God really does care about these things. And here's an example. He says, God cares who we sleep with because he cares that we really do love each other well. And that might mean loving in a different way than how we feel. And basically understanding that letting desire be the thing that motivates us to move into sexual intimacy is actually not a very loving thing. Great book, super easy to read, but takes an approach that I just really appreciated. So check it out if you're looking for something to read. Sam Alberry, Why Does God Care Who I Sleep With?